I've been down the rabbit hole and I've lost a ton of money going the other route, which is putting all of your money in one option contract and buying as many of these contracts as you possibly can.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Ewell. Hey there, traders. Welcome back to today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast. Today, we have a special lesson for you. I'm putting it here on the podcast because I really believe that this is going to provide you massive value, and that's what I'm trying to do here. And hey, listen, if this podcast was useful to you at all, I really highly suggest that you go check out the full trading course at AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com. Hey, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we give you more tools, tips, and tricks to help you trade faster and trade smarter every single week.
Hey there, traders. Welcome back to today's How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast. Today is part 2 in our 10-part series on options trading mistakes, common option trading mistakes by new investors. And I got to tell you, this is going to be painful going through all these because I've made all of them and I want to share them with you. And I was inspired by another series on YouTube by Ally Invest. And so I wanted to replicate their series as well as put my own spin on it and to give you some of this information with not just theory, but actual practicality behind it. So the first thing we want to, or I guess this is actually the second episode. The second thing we want to talk about is misunderstanding the leverage in options trading. Now, if you remember on the first episode, we talked about how I basically blew out my account because I was buying all of these out of the money call options. And so in theory, what I thought was a great investment turned out to be basically lottery tickets. And whenever you're trading stocks, you can get leverage if you have a margin account. And this will depend on your broker, but my personal broker, Tastyworks, there's a 2-to-1 leverage factor. So let's say I wanted to buy $1,000 worth of stock. I would actually have to put only $500 in capital up to do that. And first off, that's some great leverage, right? But remember, leverage cuts both ways. It will work for you and it will work against you. You will win twice as much on a percentage basis, but you will also lose twice as much on a percentage basis if things go against you. So keep that in mind. Now let's extrapolate that to option contracts. Option contracts control 100 shares of stock. So if you are looking at a trading size where you're trading 100 shares of stock, maybe starting with one option contract is a good place to start. If you're already with a bigger account, maybe you're already trading 1,000 shares at a time, look at trading 10 option contracts at a time. You've got the leverage there and you want to use that in your favor, but you don't want to overexpose yourself because the fastest way to ruin in trading is to take on larger risks than your trading account can handle. Let's try and understand the leverage on this a little bit better. Let's say you've got one person who has a $5,000 account and they want to buy a at the money call because they're interested in owning 100 shares of stock. And that's going to cost them, let's say it's $3. So it's $300 out of their account. So $5,000 minus $300 for the price of the at the money call that they're buying is now $4,700. So this person who's already used to trading 100 shares at a time now has a 100 share one option contract at their disposal. And for doing that, instead of spending, let's call it a $50 option, or $50 share price. So 50 times 100, that's $5,000 right there. Let's say that they did one option contract for $300. That's some really useful leverage there. So now they have the control of all those shares without having to put up all that capital. Now, there goes into a lot more with the Greeks on the options here, but we're just trying to keep it basic. So they're controlling 100 shares that would have taken their entire account, but they're only doing it for about $300. So you've got another trader who realizes that he could use his entire $5,000 and buy 16 of these $300 option contracts. And so now he has 16 times the leverage that the first trader does. They both want to be bullish on the stock, but one trader is being really smart with their risk. They understand the leverage that they have here is 100 shares, which is about what they would trade anyway. The other trader now has 16 times 100 shares and has put their entire account at risk in this one trade. So while options trading is amazing, and you can do so much to your account, positive and negative, there's two ways to look at the leverage. if it were me and my trading, I know I would personally do the first option, which is to use one option contract for about every 100 shares that I would be looking to trade otherwise. Trust me, I've been down the rabbit hole and I've lost a ton of money going the other route, which is putting all of your money in one option contract and buying as many of these contracts as you possibly can. Getting that huge leverage is going to be awesome if it works in your favor. But if it doesn't, you have 16 times more risk than the person does, on the other hand, who is smart about using their leverage. So, hey, I hope that was useful to you. Coming up next, we have options trading mistake number 3. So be sure to click and watch that next. And trust me, I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. If you don't mind, make sure you like, subscribe, and enable notifications so you never miss any of the tools, tips, and tricks we upload every single week to help you trade faster and trade smarter. I'll see you on the next episode.
Okay, so what'd you think? That was pretty incredible, right? Now, if you like that, that's only a taste, only a sample of what you're going to find in the full AI stock trading system. And I really highly encourage you to go and check this out. Obviously, you are interested in learning on how to trade, and that's why you're listening to this podcast. Now, I'm going to take and download my entire trading system that I use day in and day out onto you. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is over at the AIStockTradingSystem.com. You're going to get phase 1, 2, and 3, several bonuses, and on top of that, I'm going to walk you through over a dozen trades that I put on inside of my account, holding your hand and showing you exactly how I got in, how I got out, how I use the artificial intelligence data, and how this could work inside of your own trading portfolio on a daily basis. So make sure you head on over to AIStockTradingSystem.com. That's AIStockTradingSystem.com to learn more and to get started and to download my decade plus worth of trading experience into your hands so you can start using the AI stock trading system today, the 5-step system to take the guesswork out of trading. Hey, if you like this video, let me know by leaving me a like below, and then subscribe and share it with somebody you think could use it as well. Be sure to comment below with your biggest takeaway from this episode and any suggestions you have for future episodes. And finally, make sure you watch these other videos to help you trade faster and trade smarter, and I'll see you on the next episode.